Back to the Comedy Central.
So, there's some sugar. I am the you are. So I suppose I should take this opportunity to tell you about the funeral pyre that we've been doing.
Yeah.
For the 3 old fucking women that died on our street during that week. We went down to the funeral home and fucking grabbed those motherfuckers and brought them back to the house. We had ourselves a little pyre out in the backyard. And if you've ever heard of those fucking warming action condoms, you would never even fucking believe what's going on in this shit. It is a fucking intense sexual just death, fucking absolutely ridiculous. The stare is whatever, the mongoose has died, the dog is on its way to just puking itself to death. Entrails are everywhere. We have no regard for human life whatsoever. There are heroin needles strewn all over the lawn that have been used by AIDS-ridden junkies. So we are all contracting all kinds of viruses because what the hell, we're all going to die anyway. What the fuck? So, we're all about this shit. We are getting into this shit. But it gets better. And I think, to tell you about how it gets better, I'm going to pass it to my friend Matty here.
Dude, I really don't have anything to say. I'm just gonna pass it on.
So fucking... So there you go. As I described, in my house, entrails on the wall, semen and blood, placenta in the bloody mixture about my house. Walk into the garage, get in my pickup truck, where my barely alive, twitching and vomiting wife, right, by the neck. So I get in the fucking driver's seat, slam the door shut on the rope, so the wife's still dragging behind. Meanwhile, her legs have been snapped, broken at the pelvis, stretched above her head, and tied up like that. So she's dragging. The way this is positioned and the way the rope is tied inside of the car, as I cruise down the road at 75 miles per hour, her pussy is scraping and just bumping along this fucking path. So it's bloody, it's gaping, it's disgusting. A mixture of pus, menstrual fluid, and blood are geysering out of the fucking vagina from the artery obviously hitting the leg, which leads straight to the heart. So it's pulsatingly thrusting out spurts of blood and pus, which goes along the side of the road. So finally, I take the mangled, worm-ridden, fucking vomitous, trashy-ass, whorish slut of my wife, and I throw her on top of the cab of my car. So at that point, I take all these wounds, 4 wounds right in a line, I just jab all 4 of my fingers into each wound. Right? And meanwhile, her fucking gap is still open. Her vag is still open. Take the clip, twist that, rip it out, just start fucking nuts eating out my wife here. Beating off, my cock is fucking destroyed. Broken glass, needles, blood. It's everywhere. I'm bursting out shots of cum and blood, one right after the other, straight up into my wife's fat as I eat out this gaping fucking axe wound.
So, I'm eating out this gaping fucking axe wound, right? And I'm thinking, man, it really would be great to lubricate this up with some feces. So, I just took a gigantic load of placenta and blood off the wall and swallowed that down and digested up into a nice big ball of shit. And I took it and rubbed it on my God. And I slapped the bitch in the face because she's a skanky ass hoe. She slept with the fucking mailman. Slept with all my friends. She went around giving around loving until there was none left from me, man. And then, when I wasn't around, she fucked the dog. She grabbed its dick and was fucking working that shit like it was like she was stretching out a fucking slinky, man. It was bouncing off the walls, just sticking it in, and sucking it in, letting the dog come over her face. My wife was a skanky asshole and I want to chop her in half with a fucking chainsaw and rip her in half and take all her organs and shit and take them and just reach them and just shove them up my son's ass until it just goes straight through his fucking brain. Let's punch him through the fucking, all the way through his body like the fucking fist of mighty Thor. Yes, Lucy. And then Mighty Thor does this.
Your Thor.
Alright. So, I shove my fist right through like I'm fucking Mighty Thor, right? I'm feeling like King fucking Kong here.
And Wesley Willis whoops your ass.
And Wesley Willis comes out, drives the car down the street. I don't know how the fuck he's out. I thought he was fucking dead. He died of leukemia like 3 years ago. So, he comes down the street with my 11-year-old niece, right? I don't know what the fuck she's doing. She's living in Canada. So she comes down there. She's chugging a bottle of maple syrup, right? And she throws it up on Wesley Willis's dick. Obese motherfucking big huge fucking guy. And she starts sucking him off with the puke. Then I come in, I jump into their car through an open window, and I start eating out my 11-year-old niece. And she starts having her period, her first period. She starts bleeding menstrual blood into my mouth. Which obviously, because, you know, I'm a normal, sane person, makes me throw up. So I throw up all over her, and as I'm throwing up, I stretch out her asshole and throw up inside, right?
Throw up, puke, motherfucker.
Puke, throw up, it's the same fucking thing. So I finish doing that. I pull out a flask, I pull out my hip flask, start drinking some whiskey to wash away the taste, you know. Some nice whiskey from Frisco. I'm from Frisco. You know. Once I'm done with the whiskey, I bash Wesley Willis over the head with it. He doesn't get knocked out. His skull's pretty thick. He's used to the old headbutting thing. Knock out my niece. Then I start fucking Wesley Willis in the ass, giving him a reach around. Then I donkey punch the motherfucker. I donkey punch his ass. He finally does go out. And I pull my dick out, red sock. I got ass muscles clamped on my dick like a fucking, you know, one of those clamps you have in your wood shop at school, in high school. It's like wrapped around there. And so he finally regains consciousness, and he goes in there, and he pulls out a Casio keyboard and starts writing a song about it, because that's what Wesley Willis does. And then so I take it out. I see my wife's corpse on the road, and I start beating her, what's left of her skull in, with this fucking keyboard. And he's complaining about how his keyboard got damaged, motherfucker. So I go over there, I cock slap him, leave the Hiroshima mushroom on his face. And then,
we did a last
Johnny, shut the fuck up and do something about this damn snooze button.